never forget. That's the phrase that we utter every year around this time of year, as we remember the terrible events of September 11th, 2001. Do you remember where you were when you heard of the news of those devastating terrorist attacks? If you're old enough to remember that day, then you probably do remember. It's something that you just don't forget. Me? I was in the 5th grade. Our teacher had just finished teaching our religion class when all of a sudden our principal walks into the classroom and whispers something to our teacher. He then promptly turned on the radio and we listened to it all morning long. But it wasn't until I got home later that afternoon and I saw the news and the video images for myself. Then at that moment, I understood the severity of what was going on. It's something you just don't forget, and that's why we utter that phrase, never forget. We never forget the terrible, awful images that we saw that day. We never forget the thousands of lives that were lost that day. And we never forget the heroes that saved so many other lives that day. Never forget. And God never forgets too. He remembers the pain that so many of us felt on that day. But God also remembers so much more. In Psalm 9 verse 18, we're told this, "But God never forgets the needy. The hope of the afflicted will never perish." You see, friends, God always remembers you. He never forgets you. He is always watching out for you, and He always gives you exactly what you need. When your heart aches, God remembers that, and He mends your troubled heart. When you find yourself being needy, God remembers that, and He gives you what you need because He's promised to do just that. When your troubled conscience keeps you up at night, God remembers that. And so He shares with you the wonderful gospel message of Jesus Christ crucified for your sins so that your conscience can be at ease. God never forgets you. He is always watching out for you. He is always protecting you. He is always providing for you. And He is always loving you. Never forget. My friends, never forget God. Never forget His goodness to you. Because God never forgets you. If this devotion has been a blessing to you, please like and share with others. God's blessings to you all.